Still alive. Let's intro
Good.
it. Therapy Army. Let's be having you, Therapy Army. Let's be having you. We've not been live for a while. I don't really believe in going live for nonsense reasons. Not nonsense, but just for content's sake, for doing content's sake. We don't do that here. There was nothing to cover international football, and I've had a bigger and a lot of things on my mind anyway. So when it's to be disingenuous, when I don't feel like it, I need to be looking forward to and excited about joining the Therapy Army and speaking to a man like Jarvis and everybody else. So welcome, people. Welcome to the Therapy Army. I can't really speak loud or anything like that. Still got broken ribs, still sore. And that's another thing. I've been recovering as well, taking time to recover. So big up to everybody. Love and light. Smash a like on the video on your way in. We've got the preview tonight. We're going to be talking about the 25% club. Then they need to be shamed. The people who are accepting the 25% need to be shamed, man. So welcome. Smash a like on your way in. And let's get into it. We've got lots of talking points. Sancho is a talking point. I'm sick of that saga. I'm really sick of it right now. January is around the corner. That will take care of itself. But then I have no faith in the club anyway to sort that out. So we need to stop worrying about it. And people need to stop making content and tweeting about it and stuff like that. At the end of the day, it's a standoff. That's all it is. The player his agent hopefully will get him a move in January on loan. And that'll be the end of it. But we need to, big chunk of it is going to be talking about the people who are now doing a mental gymnastics to accept 25% ownership from Jim the Rat Radcliffe for Manchester United. So we're not having that. But welcome, people. Welcome. Jarvis, how are you? Tomorrow is an interesting game. I've not even looked at the time we kick off, actually.
It's 8 p.m.
8 p.m. kickoff, so yeah.
Late night.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I forget that. It's not even 10 o'clock. Yeah, it's 8 p.m. kickoff, so yeah. We will, I'll definitely have a look at that. Yeah, it's the late game. We're the late game. It's Chelsea and Arsenal at 5, and then it's also the late game, innit? But big up. What are you thinking about tomorrow? Tell me about more that you've looked at. I think you might have looked at football more this week than I have. So, Jarvis, talk to me about players who are back and returning. And I watched the press conference today, so we'll have a look at the press conference as well. Notes. We'll bring you a bit of the press conference from.
It was a short press conference, but you can cover it. But when it comes to the players who's back, the most vital player is Reguilon, who's back. So we finally have a left back, so we can play with the more control and more width on the left side. I think that will be good for Rashford because he will have an overlapping fullback, and I believe that's very important to get Rashford going. And we saw him in the last game for England that he come good. He scored a goal, and maybe he can build his confidence around that goal. So that will be a good thing for us. I have a predicted lineup, but I just saw the bookmakers. Predicted lineup, and they start with Reguilon, Lindelof, Varane, Dalot, Amrabat, McTominay actually in the pivot, and they have Rashford, Mount in the 10, and Fernandes on the right, and Højlund. So it's going to be a interesting starting lineup, but I don't think anybody knows at the moment because we don't know how about the South American players coming back from the internationals, how many games they played, if they need any rest. So we have the tragedy with Sweden and the terrorist attack. So I think Lindelof is a little bit shook. I'm not sure if he's mentally available to play tomorrow. I think he took that incident very hard. So we will see what will happen. But I suspect that Maguire will start tomorrow in front of Lindelof. What do you reckon, Nuruddin?
First of all, we want to say absolute and most solidarity and love to the families and friends and the fans that travelled over as a community from Sweden to Belgium to play in that friendly. We want to send our love. We go to football matches, Jarvis. You used to go to football matches. We've all been. The last thing you ever thinking is that you're gonna die on your way to a football match. And it's the most horrific because it's one of the most joyous things is sport. It brings people together. And psychopathic person just did what they did. And my heart breaks for the victims and their friends and family. and also the Swedish players and the Belgian players and everybody in the stadium. Everybody was involved. So our heart breaks for them, and we send all our love, especially obviously Lindelof, who's close to us, and because he's our player. And yeah, so we send a massive love to him as well. Yeah, and massive love to the world at this moment in time. I just want to stop. Yeah, we need justice, we need peace, but we can't get peace without the justice. It's no point, because it's just we need justice in this world. We need justice. We need peace and ending the violence. I think that's the order it will go. And also, our solidarity lies with the people of Gaza and people of Palestine, who are absolutely getting it still. The world is standing still and letting it happen, letting it slaughter one of the fourth largest army in the world, especially high tech, backed by the biggest superpower in the world, back to the hill, and babies are getting slaughtered right, left, and center. So my thoughts and our hearts break out. I've been involved in little demos, little rallies in Manchester, so solidarity. I think a Palestinian once said, Mr. Palestinian said, if you feel like you can't do anything, just let other people know about it. So that's what we've been doing. So lots of love. But big hugs to everybody. But yeah, so I know that for the headlines in terms of the football, that Casemiro, but let's go through the notes. Send Mick the link if he's about.
Yeah, I just sent him he was just taking his dog for a walk, and he will be back and probably jump on in 5 minutes time.
I always love that. It's the last dog walk of the night, isn't it? I always have to ask what his thing, but let's get into it, people. Team news is that Ben Osborne and possibly George Baldock are in contention to return for Sheffield United squad on Saturday. So they're having 2 people return. Chris Bayman is a long-term absentee after breaking his ankle against Fulham, joining a lengthy injury list. Yeah, that looked really nasty. Really nasty, that one. Casemiro has been ruled out for Manchester United after sustaining a minor injury on international duty. However, defender Rafael Varane, Sergio Reguilon is fit again. Sofia Amrabat is available despite missing both Morocco's games. Right, fair play. Match facts. Sheffield United are winless in 6 matches versus Manchester United in all competition since the 2-1 victory in the FA Cup 5th round in February 1993. They beat us in a lockdown at home. We must not forget. Oh, did we draw that game or did they beat us? No, they beat us, didn't they?
They beat us, yeah.
Yeah. The Blades have won just 2 of their 10 Premier League matches. 2 went at home on the opening day of the integral 92-93 season, and by the same score at Old Trafford in their most recent encounter in January 2021. That's the day that I fell out in love with David De Gea. That's a significant game. Will always say that's the day. That's the game I thought, De Gea, you're done out here. Like, I knew that was the game. I didn't abuse him. I always give him credit but I knew I was done with him. Emotionally, I disconnected from him. Manchester United have scored in 24 successive League Cup games against Sheffield United since the 1-0 top flight defeat at Bramall Lane 51 years ago. Wow. Sheffield United have 1 point this season, just the lowest tally by a Premier League side after 8 matches. They could become the first team in English top flight history to have no more than 1 point after 9 games of 2 occasions, having started 2021 and 21 with a draw and 8 defeats. Wow. The only team to have 1 point after 9 flight fixtures and to go and avoid relegation is Leicester City 83-84 season. Sheffield United's first match at Bramall Lane since the club record of 8-0 defeat against Newcastle. Paul Higginbottom's side have just conceded 2 or more goals in each of their past 7 league games, shipping 21 goals in total. They have faced 176 shots in their first 8 Premier League fixtures this season, the highest tally on record after 9 matches in 196 by Hull City in 2016-17. Higginbottom has lost 14 of his 18 Premier League games in charge, which equals 78%. Wow. Which equates to 78%. Yeah, that's nearly 80% loss. Manchester United could start the season off with as many as 5 defeats in their first opening 9 league matches for the first time since suffering 6 losses under Ron Atkinson in 1986. And that's when he got sacked. Fergie came in 1986. Yeah, Ron Atkinson, yeah. The Red Devils, have been beaten in 6 of their last 11 games in all competition this season. Wow. Eric Ten Hag's side have only lost have lost their next league fixture after each of the 3 top flight wins this season. They beat Brentford last time out. So there we go, people. There's a clue in there. We win one, and then away we lose. However, they're on a run of 9 consecutive Premier League victories against promoted sides. So sides that are being promoted, we are on a 9 consecutive Premier League victories against promoted sides. Rasmus Højlund has had 3 goals in 2 Champions League games for Manchester United, but has failed to secure a score in any of his 6 domestic appearances for the club. Well, he scored a couple of times, but they were bloody ruled out. Stop taking the piss, VAR. If it wasn't the VAR, he would have scored a couple, didn't he? So, cheeky buggers. That's up to them. Anyway, we're here, people. There's 100 of you in here already. Wonderful to see you all. Big up. Big up Aki. Big up the Aki. Oh, big up, brother. Big up Bex 01. Backs 001. Big up Love Lights. Big up to everybody, the usual gang. Big up Lilas. There we go. Free Palestine. There you go. We say it here. We say it. Lilas said also says Qatar Twitter saying about this 25 gym, it's all nonsense, including is lying. I don't know if you saw any of that, Jarvis, but it is what it is.
There's a lot of like small accounts going around on Twitter with a lot of nonsense in my mind, but basically no one knows. It's NDAs, so we will know in time.
Yeah,
this can, I got the feeling the other night that this will actually drag on until the end of the season. We will 100%. Probably not know anything before we come to April, May.
Facts. Knowing the Glazers. Yeah. Big up, people. We're gonna give them a win. It's just like United after international break. 8:00. It feels like it's for some reason. You know what? Actually, the later it is, it should be able to help us because players fly back. Like, it's about preparation in it in football. So, for example, if we were playing like Liverpool are playing 12 o'clock kickoff, that means they have to start. They wake up in the morning and they're eating spaghetti pasta. They wake up at 8:00, something like that, and they're eating pasta to be for the pasta to
fill up the carbs.
Yeah, to fill up the carbs. That's what happens. But United now, they can get up, have breakfast, have lunch, and then carb up for 8:00 kickoff.
Yeah, they probably have a training session early in the day, just going through the tactics and the formations.
Exactly, yeah, because they don't have to be there maybe 3 hours before the game. But yeah, big up, and obviously all the people that are coming back as well. All of the people that are coming back from long haul flights. So we knew that Casemiro was injured, but he got played. He had a knock and then he played, didn't he, for Brazil? So we knew about that. That's not nothing new.
What's happened there? How can he was ruled out with the knock and then he played almost 80 minutes.
And then he played and then he stayed behind. And apparently he stayed behind. I don't think he's here yet. Big up Nurin always. All over again. Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Big up Matthias, love and light. Really poignant. Yes, Nurin, hope you're healing. How can you, when United stand no and more? Why are they so against speaking up? Listen, I don't know, bro. Listen, at the end of the day, it's up to people, innit? Like, for me, you can't stay silent. Like, you cannot stay silent on what's going on. For certain people, that's their choice, innit? Like, you know what I mean? That's their choice. To me, the biggest thing is that it's these celebrities, millionaires, who basically, like, visit Jerusalem and take photos at the mosque and the churches and, for influencers. Some of them are like got millionaires, some of them are making a lot of money. I'm like, but you're not saying anything. I'm like, yeah, big up Jarvis, thanks for following me. Yeah, you go.
Yeah, no problem, man.
There you go. Love. Kareem, yeah, there comes Bombay and everything. Big up, man. Big up. Turn that music down. Turn that music down. Hey, Bombay is Wayne Rooney now, eh? Hey, Wayne Rooney. Wayne Rooney. Wayne Rooney. He goes by the name of Wayne Rooney. Wayne Rooney. Wayne Rooney. He goes by the name of Wayne Rooney.
Did you take a sip of your coffee?
I've been accused of munching the mic, eating and drinking while I'm doing this, and I've never done that. I think this mic is sensitive, so when I'm not being spoken to, I'll only speak when I'm spoken to. Otherwise, I'm gonna mute. I don't want to. I promise you, I'm looking good, better than usual. I've chilled out on Miami's. That's only Saturdays anyway.
Yeah,
Today's Friday, so
yeah, we don't want to hear you in the bath. We don't want to hear that you.
So yeah, if it's getting funky, if you feel like I'm, having an entree with a main and a dessert, let me know.
Let you know, people. Pick up and Jarvis.
I don't even have the appetite. I don't even have the appetite to eat. You know what I mean? I can't even eat properly. I'll be honest with you. With the shit that I'm seeing on the news, I can't eat.
Yeah.
So
honestly, man. I think we've covered what we've covered. And big up to everybody in the chat. Kareem says, "Big up, bro. Big up, and Jarvis. You need to stream more regularly, bro. You got me watching Saeed getting smoked on FIFA." There you go, mate. Big up and by Mike Charles Cliff. Okay, TV. There you go. You get a nice compliment there, Kareem. Big up, Kareem.
Nice one, bro.
Yeah. Stop lying. You're always eating, drink live on the stream.
I swear, I've never done that. Never done that in my life. Promise.
Well, I don't know, man. Listen, I think Neil Ashton came after you. That's what it is. Neil Ashton comes after everyone, so somebody's got to you. Somebody got to your mic. But big up, Mr. Bombay. I went through Sheffield, right? So let me just give you the most significant. Let's see what you think. I'm just going to give you little stats about games tomorrow because we went through it a little bit. So let me just give you a little stat tomorrow, yeah? Just to make you feel. So let's just go, right? There we go. Right.
Bro, don't add to my anxieties. You know what I mean?
No, I'm definitely. This is what I'm doing. Sheffield United are winless in 6 home matches versus Manchester United in all competition. They beat us obviously at home since 1993, so they're not beat us. And it wasn't in the league; it was in the FA Cup 5th round in February 2009. Sorry, in February.
No, I think it was 3-3 that game.
No, Sheffield United winless in home 6 matches versus Manchester United in all competition. Since the victory, they beat us 2-1 in the FA Cup 5th round in February 1993. Right? So you got that.
Yeah. From Bramall Lane, yeah.
All you're doing is putting extra pressure that the boys don't need.
Well, this is what I'm saying to you. Manchester United could start the season with as many as 5 defeats in their opening 9 league matches for the first time since suffering 6 losses under Ron Atkinson. That's when he got sacked after Fergie got the job. Eric Ten Hag's side. Listen to this. This is the bit that's for you. Eric Ten Hag's side have lost their next league fixtures after each of their top 3 top flight wins this season. And then it says they beat Brentford last time out. So every time we won a game this season, we've lost the next league game. But then this gives you a little bit of hope. He says, however, they are on a run of 9 consecutive Premier League victories against promoted sides. So we smashed the promoted sides, but it is what it is. They've got a couple of injuries back, so I'll start with you, Bombay. Here's how I'm going to pick it up. I'm going to say this. They give you lots of chances. They've conceded more shots than anybody else, right? I think 176 shots they've conceded.
They need about 175 shots to score, so that's all right. We've got a chance.
They will score tomorrow. I'll be shocked if they don't score. But I'm going to break it down for you and say that the crowd is going to be up. It's going to be at 8 o'clock kickoff. The atmosphere is going to be jumping. And what I'm going to say is that Manchester United are going to come under a lot of extreme pressure. They're going to come under a lot of pressure, and it's about that first goal. I think if we score the first goal, Manchester United can win or get a draw out of this game. If they score the first goal, I think it's going to be a long night. I think it's going to be a long, long night. Do not get it twisted. It's going to be a long night. There we go, Kareem. Big up, Kareem. Get on it. Get on it, Kareem.
Nice.
Need to lose 2-0 to Sheffield. Oh, okay. People want us to lose. And 3-2 to 3-2 to Copenhagen.
Why?
I don't know, because I think he wants the Glazers out. His name is Standard Protocol Format. Maybe he's put a bet on. That's what he said. Need to lose 2-0 to Sheffield and 3-2 to Copenhagen. He's put a bet on. He's put a double on. He's got a double on. That's why he's got a double on. Big up to everybody. Love and light. Let's go, people, and let's get into this. I think United is going to really have a tough time tomorrow. I think we still play as confident. The biggest thing is because I believe Bombay and I believe Jarvis is that they have not had that many players going into national duty. Higginbottom, their manager, have used his time to take stock, to look at the 7 games that they've played so far, analyzed everything that needed to be analyzed, and then said, okay, this is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to do. So for 2 weeks, majority of them have trained and worked in the game plan. They have rested. Bombay is still on it. You need to move. We can still hear you chewing. We can hear you chewing. You do whatever funky. The mic is funky. Bombay's mic is funky. It's pure rhythm. So this is the reason why I believe Jarvis. Is that they're waiting for us. They're ready for us. And our record is we win one league game, then we lose the next anyway. So I don't believe that majority of their players have gone in international duty. I'll be surprised. I'll be shocked if they have.
Well, when it comes to Sheffield United, actually their injury list is quite long. They have a lot of injured players. I think they have, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They have 10 injured first team players at the moment. Okay. So they struggle the same as we do.
Yeah, so tomorrow they've got Ben Osborne and George Bradlock in contention. And the long absentee is the guy who broke his ankle, Chris Bashman. He broke his ankle. Yeah. So Manchester United, we've got Casemiro, Luke Shaw, Malacia, who else? Martinez, Sancho, Wan-Bissaka. Who else have we got injured? Casemiro. So Manchester United have got possible 6 first-team players. All of them are first-team players, isn't it? Casemiro, Luke Shaw, Martinez,
Malacia and Wan-Bissaka. So there's 5 players out.
So five first-team players out, Manchester United, possibly. 5 first-team players out.
And of course,
Ahmad, long-term. Malacia, long-term.
So there's 6.
Yeah, big up. Mike's clear, Glazers. Mike is clear, the Glazers can hear him. Big up. Nora, when you come out from the break, sharp and ready, never. Nora, we have to come out. Yeah, we have to come out. So, Jarvis, what do you think? I'm trying to think and see how many of them.
Yeah, this is the bookmakers' predicted lineup for the game, and I don't know if you guys can see it, but they start with McTominay in the pivot, and they start with Bruno on the right. This is the bookmakers' predicted lineup, and of course Rashford on the left, and Mount in the 10. I see this team playing, but I'm not sure how this team is going to break down a low block, because we know that they will play with 5 in the back. Basically, it's a 3-5-2 formation Sheffield United comes with, but their wingers tucked down as fullbacks. So we have to we have to knock our head against the wall and try to break them down. But I think with this, one of the key elements, we have a Reguilón and we have Dalot back. So the fullbacks needs to go to the byline and cross the ball into to Højlund's area. And we can come with deep runs from midfield with Bruno and Mount. So we might create, but you have to be precise to break them down. That's the key issue.
Facts. There you go. Big up Eski. Eski's joining us as well. Big up everybody, man. Eski, love and light, bro. I hope you're good. Now that's a decent, but I just don't want to see Bruno on the right. The way that he was talking in the press conference today, Jarvis, it didn't seem like Bruno was going to go right. He said because we had issues on the right wing, we had injuries, and he got pressed and he said, okay, when he play more as number 10 because he's setting up goals and he's scoring goals for Portugal. And one of the journalists, she asked him, she was like, maybe putting Mount out there on the right and then Bruno more inside for his creativity. And he talked to length about how creative he is, how he scores goals and sets up goals. And congratulations to Bruno, by the way, for getting the Goal of the Month award for that volley. So, you know, it is what it is. I think he's not been great this season so far. I think he's been very lucky to be picked. And I think he's been very lucky to start. I don't know what's going on. Maybe because we're talking about Palestine and we're paying our condolences to Palestine. The number of people watching tonight has infatuated up and down a lot tonight, more than most. So I don't know what's going on. I know that for 100% fact that Google, Facebook, and Instagram are basically trying to silence people who are talking about what's going on with Palestine. 100%. That is a fact. So that's more for more people, you peace-loving, justice-loving, actually more justice-loving than peace-loving, because justice is important. Justice-loving people need to tune up and give two fingers to the algorithms, because they're putting algorithms on purpose so that people who will talk about that stuff are being silenced. It honestly is a fact. If you follow me on Twitter, I'll post the evidence and you can make up your own mind. But big up to everybody.
It's called shadow.
Shadow banning. Shadow banning. It happens to me on Facebook already from a long time ago. Big up, drop chat. Listen, Eski, talk to me. Majority, I know that I've got a couple of injuries. I hope you're well, brother. First of all, how are you? You well?
Yeah, I'm all right. Been through a little bit of a tough time, but I'm good, man. How's your ribs, man?
Yeah, ribs are good, man. Bro, sending you and your family love, man. I know that you told me you're going through some difficult times. So love and light to you, brother.
Yeah, man.
Love and light to you always. Smash a like, people. Best United channel in line by a mile. Two of the best hosts, Nora Jarvis. They don't only know about football, but they talk truth because they can hunt. Yeah, there we go. Of course, we talk. That's the only thing.
That Matt House has been paid. He's definitely been paid.
Yeah. So, same account, is it, Matthias? Matt House. Is it the same account? Jarvis, get on it.
Yeah.
Get on it. Text that. Evans has been a leader at the back this season. Big up to such a treat from the corners and like the rest. Honestly, 100%. He's the biggest threat. I'm not lying to you. When I was watching the game against Brentford, I was like, get Johnny Evans on, because he's the only person who can think like he can stick his head on something. So I basically, Eski, they've not won a game. They've only got 1 point this season. They don't want to go 2 seasons in the Premier League. I think 2021, when they beat us last time, they beat us for 2-1. Yeah. They went 8 games with 1 point. After 8 games, they still had 1 point. So they don't want to repeat the same record and be the record holders, the only Premier League side, 2 seasons in a row to come with 8 points. Do you know what I mean? It's ridiculous. Yeah. So just to give to you, bro, majority, they've got lots of injuries. We've got at least 5 first-team players out that could start tomorrow. They're out. They've rested. I don't believe they had loads of players who went to internationals like we have. And I think their manager, Higginbottom, has sat them down, worked through his coaches, took stock, evaluated everything. And this is like a mini preseason. They've had a mini preseason, so they're coming at us hard tomorrow. Night game, Bramall Lane, under the lights, atmosphere, crazy. What chance are you giving Manchester United?
I'm going to give Man United a 80% chance. I'm feeling the positivity a bit lately, right? All about renaissance in the season. Can you turn it around? Players do well internationally. I don't really care about that. But I think, same for Ten Hag when you talk about their manager, a bit of a reset. Ten Hag can have time to sit about, look at things over 2 weeks, assess things, or a few injuries here and there. But I think, but for both teams, it's a good way to take a little breather. You go into the game and look, 8 o'clock at Bramall Lane, they'll treat that game like Newcastle did to PSG at home. Do you know what I mean? They're going to be up for that from minute 1 to 90, right? So we've got to be up for it. And, all this talk of tactics, X, Y, Z. For me, at this moment in time, because I'm concerned about the team, I just want to look at team mentality and cohesion and a bit of a performance. We can talk about tactics when we actually start playing a bit of good football. Then tactics really matter. When we're dross, as we are, it comes down to the very basics. Are we helping each other out? Is the communication good? What's the manager set up to do? So for me, I'm going to give us an 80% chance tomorrow. We should get it done.
Yeah, I agree, Eski, but you're on mute, Nurdin.
Nurdin, you're mute. Yeah.
Bombaye, same question to you. What makes you think we're going to win tomorrow? And by the way, Eski, we win a game in the Premier League. Our record has been, the pattern has been, we win a league game, we lose the next game. Bombaye, of all the things I've said, what gives you confidence Manchester United are going to win this game tomorrow? We're definitely conceding. They concede goals, we're going to concede. But go.
I mean, all the statistics you gave, I'm going to just put them aside a second. Nice one for doing that work, though, and getting them. Because this is a game that you've got to really use the momentum you gained from the last game, the way it went down. And you have to go and win this game. And like Eski says, not really judging, this when sometimes there's a miscommunication. When I'm referring to our team, this Manchester United team, this team today, 2023, I'm not judging it by the same standards of the class of 92 or 2008 because it's not that anymore. This is a team that we're trying to see under this manager, where can it go? At the moment, where are we? Like Eski says, get the basics right, get the communication right, have a good team shape, track your men, cut out the mistakes, crisp up a bit the passing. The opportunities come, but the final ball's got to be a bit better. The quality got to be a bit better. I don't know about that team. I'm not sure. I mean, if we keep playing Bruno on the right, I have to ask myself the question, Anthony's better on the right. Anthony's better on the right. Are we going to keep accommodating? We're going to keep doing this at the detriment of the team? At a certain point, somebody has to bite a bullet. You have to make a decision and give us the balance. Anthony was bought for £80 million. He's a natural width. He's a left footer. He can come inside. And he's been trying to go on the outside. I don't want to overkill it. There has been some good things from him. So I don't really want this Bruno on the right thing. And Anthony's got good work rate. He tracks back. That I can't fault him. And, they're coming with a 3-4. So they're going to get their width from the back. We're going to need somebody that can track, that can do that business. So either Scott McTominay or Mason Mount or Amrabat have to be out of the team because I know Bruno has to play. He's the captain. He won't drop him. Fair enough, but I don't think you should be putting him out there on the right. Give us Anthony out there on the right. Put Bruno behind Højlund. And then, somebody's missing out. But this is a game I think we're going to win. Be a difficult game. These types of teams at the moment for us, they're not easy, these types of games. Bit Brentford style. There's a lot of hustle. There's some bustle going on. So you've got to fight for it. If you want 3 points, you've got to fight for it, man. And fighting for it and turning up is part of the basics, as Eski's saying. So all in all, let's see that. Let's throw the questions in the bin. Are they playing for him? Has the dressing room been lost? You can put all that shit in the bin. Just turn up, put a shift in, and do your basics right. And you've got the quality to beat this team. I mean, this isn't a team full of quality. This is a team that's diligent, it's industrious, and it will work hard, and it will sniff a bit of blood. Look, it is, whether our rival fans accept it, don't accept it, I don't care. When you come to play United, it's a scalp. Everybody just pushes that little bit harder. And when you're there for the taking, it would be a great victory for any team, especially a smaller team, to come and take 3 points off Man United. And this is what you have to understand as a United player, man. Everybody plays that little bit harder against you because you're Man United. So you have to bear that in mind, and you have to turn up, man. You know, and hopefully, I'm praying for Onana. We don't want any cock-ups. But this is a game we win. We should win this game. We should win this game. You know, like, we've had some time to work, and I'm hoping we're going to see that last result. We're going to bounce off it. And we're going to use that momentum. And a victory here is important because it's Manchester City next. So, yeah. Hopefully.
I'm mute again, Nordi.
I have to keep muting myself. We've got somebody else joining us. I just wanted to ask, actually, everybody's with us yet? We got 2. There we go. All right.
Yeah.
So I'll get rid of this one here.
This is my predicted 11. What we saw last was the bookies lineup, but this is what I would like to go for. The only thing that I see here that's a little bit controversial is Maguire starting in front of Lindelof. But as I explained in the beginning, is I don't think Lindelof is mentally fit after the terrorist attack or the attack on the Swedish football fans in Belgium. I think he took that thing really hard. So Maguire will most likely start in the left centre back with Varane, who is back from injury. I would also start Eriksen because I think playing against a deep block, we need ball players, people who can play the ball right, left, and center. And Bruno in the 10, that's a must. Anthony on the right and Rashford on the left. But actually, when it comes to Rashford, I would start him and see if he's good. But if he doesn't perform in 45 minutes, I will just swap him out for Garnacho and let Garnacho have a go, because Rashford hasn't been good for us lately. But he actually had a good game for England and scored a goal. So maybe we can build on that, because we know what's inside Rashford. He can suddenly become the purple patch player and score 10-15 goals in the next 10-15 games. So in a way, I believe that Rashford should have a start today. And here's Mick Ruby.
Hello.
Big up, Mick. How's the dog? I always forget the dog's name.
Cookie.
Big up, Cookie.
Jeez, this is so cold, man. I'm swear to God, the wind is howling and it's kind of penetrating. You know, that kind of wind, Scarborough wind, penetrates all the way to your bones. So cold. Just got in. Sorry, I'm late.
No, it's okay. Don't worry. It's a pleasure to have you anytime. No problem. It's we've had a bit of indifferent weather actually in Manchester. 3 of us that are in Manchester. It's been a crazy rain, downpour, like crazy and crazy wind. I think there's a storm hitting the UK. I forgot the name of it. There's a storm that's with us. So yeah, we can only imagine how cold it is in Scandinavia already. Yeah. We can only imagine. I don't think we get as cold as it gets in Scandinavia.
We're reckon the game's going to be in danger for tomorrow then?
It's no, I don't think the game. It's only an hour away. Hopefully, it'll be fine. Yeah, it'll be fine. But a lot of rain has dropped. A lot of rain has dropped.
It's going to be heavy ground tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of heavy rain has dropped in the north of England. I think throughout England, there's been some like warning signs for rain and stuff like that. But it is what it is. But yeah, so I actually go with you. I know that you probably went through this on your show earlier, but I do not trust Rashford still. I don't trust him to work back to help. So having Rashford, Reguilón, who's defensively naive, and Eriksen on that side of the pitch really troubles me. Really troubles me. For me, I genuinely would have Scott McTominay, because I think they're going to cross the ball a lot.
Yeah.
I would have Scott McTominay and then play. I would drop Bruno. This is me personally. I would drop Bruno. I don't think he's put in a game this season for Manchester United. He might have won the goal of the month. He might have scored the best goal of the month, the past couple of months, right? He's got all the awards. But I would drop him and put Eriksen up here as the number 10 in his natural position. And I would play Scott McTominay. I know that sounds crazy, but there's going to be a lot of balls put in the box. I'd rather play Johnny Evans than Harry Maguire. I still do not trust Harry Maguire.
Yeah.
They're the two players that I would take out. And I know that's a surprise and shock to a lot of people. But I would honestly, because he's a threat from corners and we need a first goal, I would take Johnny Evans and I would take Maguire out. And I would Eriksen there, Bruno, and I would play Scott McTominay.
Another thing, when you're looking at Eriksen, for me anyway, I'm thinking, okay, if I put him in, I'm looking to impose myself on the opposition. That's how I feel about Christian Eriksen. But then another part will say, if you put him in, if you don't put him in, then you're worried about the defensive cover, but it's going to take away from your being able to impose yourself on the opposition.
Yeah.
So that's the problem with Christian Eriksen. I love him. I mean, I like him as a man. I like him as a player. I always have. But with Chris, I just feel if you put him in, it's bold, man. You know what I mean? It's brave. Go and play. You're better than these. Dominate the ball. Don't give them that ball. Dictate the tempo of the game. Keep the ball well. But
we've not been playing like that this season.
That's the idea of Chris for me. Do you know what I mean? When you put Scott in there with Amrabat, then that basically means, okay, Bruno, it's on you today, bro.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But I would drop. That's what I'm saying to you. This is just my opinion. So who would you play? Would you keep the same team, Bombay, quickly and go around to Eski and Mick as well?
Depends on what I want to do. What I want to do is I want to win this game. And I don't know, is Sheffield United going to be this team where we're not able to hold the ball? They keep coming at us wave after wave. Are we going to get that kind of game? If it's that kind of game, then, and we're not keeping the ball well, then maybe you're thinking, well, no, Chris ain't the one for this. But I'm the kind of guy who, looking at Erik ten Hag, I want to keep the ball well. I don't want them to have the opportunities to be breaking and us having to be at 6s and 7s. When you play Chris, it's kind of the analogy, attack is the best form of defense. You know, recycle a little bit more, make the right pass, get a little bit of rhythm into the game. Just a simple 1-2 pass. Do you know what I mean? Like Xavi to Iniesta, it doesn't look like much, but no. Just understand what I'm saying. It doesn't have to be a worldie.
I've got broken ribs. I can't laugh at you.
Do you know when you just do?
Come on, man.
Manchester United can't keep up.
I know. That's how bad we are.
And you keep telling me about Xavi and Alonso. What you do, Xavi?
Oh god,
we've got to
Xavi and Iniesta.
If you play him, bro, it's a bit of a risk because you're not sure how the game would go. But I just feel that I want to see Scott McTominay. I'm in the mood to watch Scott McTominay play. I really am. After what he's done and what he's, yeah. I mean, I'm in the mood to see him play, and I'm really happy to go into this game with Højlund, playing. So sometimes I'm in the mood to see certain players. I've missed Scott. I want to see a bit of Scott. So whoever one is missing out there, I don't know. But I'd like Scott in there, and I'd go with Evans over Maguire as well.
Okay, big up, Mickey. Oh,
yes.
Mickey, you're so funny, Mickey.
Oi.
Mickey.
This is a tricky one. Now, this is a tricky one because they usually play a 3-5-2, so they pretty much play with the back three and 5 in the midfield and 2 up front. So that tells me they're going to park the bus. They're going to flood that midfield. Meaning that I don't know if Eriksen is the right fit. Maybe put in a Mason Mount there, like a combative person together with Amrabat. I heard the press conference, Bruno might play right wing. I don't think so. Anthony takes it. The question mark is for me, will Rashford be dropped? Because we got to look at, we're playing Champions League on Tuesday as well. But if I go on One Football app, though, they have one interesting lineup. And it's pretty much they're putting Dalot on the left and actually Pelistri as a right back winger. Yeah, go on One Football app. It's weird, right? Wow. But I agree here that I'd rather put Johnny Evans in there next to Varane because of the set pieces as well.
Yeah, he's a threat.
He's a threat.
We need all the guys who can score. The only reason why I will ever go with Scott McTominay, because at this moment in time for Scotland and for United, he's banged in 2 goals to win us a game. I think he deserves regardless what I think about Scott McTominay, I think he deserves to start the game because psychologically, Sheffield will be worried when he's in the box. They'll be worried, thinking, "Oh, damn!" Then other players will get more room. That's what I'm.
Yeah.
That is what I'm thinking. That if he gets in the box to go next to Rasmus might get a bit more room. So that's the only reason why I'm putting him there. But I too personally, I would drop Bruno, honestly, but that's not going to happen. And I would play Eriksen as a number 10, and then put Scott McTominay there, and then bring on Mason Mount as the first sub.
What about Hannibal?
Maybe to change it. Say that again?
What about Medjugorje?
Yeah, maybe Medjugorje. Yeah, maybe Medjugorje. But to me, Scott McTominay will play because only fact is we don't score enough goals, and defenders will worry about him in the box, and other players might be able to get a room, and that's what happens. You know, most of us play football. If any of you will become a good goal run, all the other people will just get next to you, and then you're hot. You're on a hot streak. You just play with that energy, that adrenaline. So I know that most people are like, okay, Craig says here, big up Craig. He says, Scott came on for 5 minutes, scored twice after watching Beckham on Netflix. I'm not buying that hype.
No.
So at the end of the day,
great comment.
Nura, like, in that case, then you see that Amrabat will play the single CDM, and then you will have, Scott McTominay more box-to-box attacking.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're gonna flood that midfield, I mean, Scott McTominay, one thing that we know is Max sideways. He's the bishop, in chess. He will knock people down. So yeah, why not? But if they're gonna park the bus, we cannot play inverted wingers. We need to have width. So
yeah, 100%. And I think the fullbacks would be important. So Reguilon, but I'm just worried about that Rashford. Rashford doesn't track back. Eriksen on that side, on our left-hand side, and Reguilon on the ball is decent, but defensively he is wanted. He is absolutely wanted. So yeah, I would not.
This is weird, man. If you go on One Football app, check it out. They put on the right back, Pellistri, McTominay, and then on the right flank, Anthony.
Well, I think they need to lay off the candy.
Whatever they're smoking over there.
I think they need to lay off
gummies
because
gummy bears.
Pellistri ain't going nowhere. But anyway, big up to you, Mick. Eski, who you keeping? Who you dropping tomorrow? Who you bringing in this team?
This team. Do you know what? I just want to say, Nurdin. Do you know how you always get vindicated, right? I think you're like 20-0 now. You always get vindicated, yeah. I need my vindication for Johnny Evans, please, because I remember you. I remember you, you specifically. You were against this Johnny Evans, right? Now all of a sudden, we're saying, do you know what? Throw Johnny in there. He's still not the answer. Don't get me wrong. He's still not the answer.
No,
but he's doing the job.
Listen, he don't score goals. Manchester United do not score goals.
Yeah.
And from corners, he's the only threat we've got.
We did give Eski a gin in when he said Evans, so you know what I mean. Eski, big it up. I have been thinking about you.
Thank you, man. When you scored that goal, I hope all you guys said Eski's buzzing right now, and I was.
Yeah, I did.
100%.
I was. So what would I change? What would I change? I would put Johnny Evans in. Yeah. I'm thinking Reguilon's not fully fit, or he's not ready to start. So I'm actually going to spruce it up. I'm going to put Amrabat left back. I'm going to put Bruno next to McTominay in the midfield, Eriksen as a 10. And then the rest is fine. But that's what I do. For me personally, with Scott McTominay, I know he gets a lot of hate, Scott sideways, McFred and everything else. But I know it's individual. But do you remember the Leeds game where he scored 2 in like 3 minutes or something like that? On the thinking, I was just there like, Ras, this guy, he's always been all right for Scotland and he can do this. What was the difference? Look at the role he's played. Under Ollie, a lot of the time he was asked to play as the CDM, as the holding guy, or as an 8 that stays. That's not his game. He's a runner. Like he's saying with his threat and whatever else, he's scared. But when he runs into the box, he's bulldozing people out of the way. Big strapping lad like that. He could just people bounce off him. Because again, I'll bring it back to when you say with Rashford, and when you're on a hot streak, when you're playing football and someone's around you, you're alive, you're electric. You see someone there, you're like, right, he can help me, he can facilitate a move. Perfect was Marcus Rashford the other day for England, right? I don't really care about England that much, but Jude Bellingham. He wins the ball, does that whole flick on. When he gives Rashford the ball, Rashford's waiting. one run across the box. He takes the player half with him. Yeah, when you watch the replay, and obviously all the pundits praise the Bellingham, whatever else in it. Yeah, Rashford did have a lot to do, but that shot that Rashford's allowed to have is because it's facilitated. I see it with Højlund a lot. Højlund's making the run. We see it with good strikers all the time. Yeah, we know. But someone like Scott McTominay, we don't have a midfielder that makes that run, that will facilitate it. All the midfielders are either behind the ball or on the side of the box. So our wingers are like, well, what do we do? Obviously, Bruno, when he come in, why do you think Bruno was getting like stupid goal numbers? Because he was playing like a false nine, last runner into the box. You couldn't track him. Very difficult to mark. The Ajax system back in the day relied heavily on Donny van der Beek. Donny van der Beek was key in that system. Yeah. He was the runner when they battered Real Madrid. I watched it with my own eyes. But Donny van der Beek was like what 8th on the Ballon d'Or list that year. Why? Yeah. Because he was mashing up teams. Ten Hag said, "You're my runner from there," and he had loads of them. He had loads of runners like that. So I'm saying he's a good option like that for us. So that's why we're starting there.
If Erik ten Hag had his team that was functioning, he could still do it, but he needs to leave in January anyway. So. We'll go from there. We'll take that away. Right, I want to go around and ask for your predictions because we've got a little thing to talk about. 25% FC, 25% we need to talk about. So talk to me, people. Talk to me. Predictions. I'll start with you, Jarvis.
Yeah, I feel worried for tomorrow. Sheffield United hasn't had any players playing in the international, as far as I know. They have been preparing for this game. And as I think what Eski who mentioned, the 8 o'clock kickoff, this will be their game as Newcastle had against PSG. Late night in the floodlights, it will be raining. They will be prepared. They will give 125% in every duel. So if we come back and believe this is going to be an easy game, we will struggle. And I think we will bang our head against the wall, the low block. And the key element for me is precision, how fast we can play the ball. And if we go around and use the width and come down to the byline and cross into Højlund, that will be the key element for me. So if we can score a early goal, it will be game over. But if we can't score and we keep banging our head against the wall, we will struggle. But I hope we will win. And my prediction is 1-0 victory for Man United.
What does your heart say?
1-0 victory. My heart say 1-0 victory.
Your head?
Well, it's the same. Now my heart and head is talking at the same. So, yeah, I think we will struggle, but I believe we will win.
Bumbaye, go ahead.
Yeah, I think 2-1 to United. I feel there'll be a little bit of Brentford-ness about this game. I can see us, if we go with Anthony and they are inverted, be brave, push on, man. Take a bit of risk. Do you know what I mean? It's going to have to be done if they're going to do a low block. You're going to have to shift them around. You getting wingers inverted, fullbacks flying up. You're going to need to do a bit of that. And then you make your own look from there, man. You keep that pressure up. You pick the right passes. You don't do anything stupid, allow the counter. So, yeah, that's why I want Anthony in there. Man, Bruno, for me, his imagination is superb. I love him. Do you know what I mean? I know he gets shit, and sometimes he can frustrate. But I swear, in terms of imagination, I think
this season, other than that wonder goal, he's been absolute shit this season. I'm sorry.
The whole team's struggling, man. The whole team.
But he's the big player, and he's been absolutely quiet as a mouse in big games. Sorry.
He's the captain, Bumbaye. You have to remember, he's the captain. You know, he can't be having stinkers as the captain.
Exactly.
You can't.
Exactly.
You can, but you know what? He's having stinkers, but I know what he can do. Do you know what I mean?
Go ahead, Mickey. Tell me. No, but the Bumbaye, go back to what does your head say?
I just see 2-1, man. I see 2-1. Heart and head, they're speaking together tonight. They're in the mood. We'll go 2-1.
They're in the mood. They're in the mood for dancing.
Romance.
I mean, Jarvis, you said that they had 2 weeks to prepare for this game. So did Erik ten Hag as well. Yeah,
I said 2 weeks to prepare. He took stock. They've only got 1 point out of 6 games. They've took stock. They've used it as a mini preseason. They've looked at all of it. He's analysed all the coaches, Higginbottom. He's analysed himself. He's analysed the players. They've got about 2 players coming back. They've got a lot of injuries, but they've got 2 players back tomorrow. And he's saying, guys, we're at home. And the humiliation that they got. So this is the first game they're playing since they got whacked 8-0 by Newcastle.
Yeah.
And just to add another thing, this season, the team that I saw play the best football, tactically the best handled Man City, they were the better team. Literally, what's his name? The number 6 for City scored a wonder goal to win it at the end.
Rodri.
Rodri scored a left foot. He's not putting that in the top corner there. That was a one-off, 1 in 10. In that bit of space, no backlift, puts it in the corner. But I'm telling you, tactically, they kept Highland absolutely silent.
Yeah, they did, you know.
Yeah, no. Listen, I just went on Bet365 just to check the odds, and 87% is a victory for Manchester United. 2% is only for Sheffield. Like, you got to also say reverse, Jarvis and Nuruddin, that Ten Hag had 2 weeks off himself to assess situation. Players that haven't been played international. Remember, you don't have much time to tinker in the middle of, training and playing games. So, I mean, we will see tomorrow at the end of the day who will start, who will not start. I don't think Rashford should start. I think Rashford should be rested. This is a game where you have to keep it wide, not narrow, So we can sit here and argue to the face, in who will start, who will not. We will just find out tomorrow. But I don't think we will concede. I want Onana to keep a clean sheet, 100%. If I see the strikers, Archer, McBurney, so depends on who you start as a defense, right? But I said earlier 3-0, so I have to stick with 3-0 United, and otherwise it will be 3-1.
Over your head and heart, Mickey.
My could go either way. 3-1 United. Honestly, if we're gonna concede, but my heart says 3-0. Clean sheet. Okay. Rasmus Højlund to score a brace.
Let's hope.
Go on, Mick.
Go on. Listen, Mick's never.
Go on, Mick.
I have never heard Mick go. My head says Manchester United are going to get a draw or get beaten. I've never. Bumbaye. He's never. He always says. He is literally blindly optimistic. So it's all good. Eski, talk to me.
Blind optimism, man. I love it. I envy you guys. I used to be like you guys. Swear down, I did. No, listen.
Mick still thinks it's 99.
No, do it. No, do it. Why not?
It's all about positive thinking, in life.
Mick, you know what Mick is?
I agree.
Listen, Mick's that type of time traveler that still thinks he's still in the early 2000s, late 2000s.
It's a better time to live, man.
I mean,
you mean
90s.
Charlie McFly? From Back to the Future.
Marty McFly. Charlie McFly.
Marty McFly, yeah.
Marty, go on, Marty. Go ahead.
Score tomorrow. I think we'll win. I was going to say 1-0. No, I think we'll win 2-1. I do think we're going to concede, aren't we? We're just not good. I was actually debating.
Listen, we don't concede normal goals. We give people presents. It's close. Closest getting to Christmas, the more gifts we give out. Manchester United have turned to Santa Claus United, mate. Santa Claus United. We give you free gifts.
Saying Eski, Johnny Evans brace.
No.
Oh my God! Listen.
No. Actually, I'm absolutely.
Won't be able to talk to Eski if that happened.
No. I'm expecting a Onana special. I'm expecting Ruglion to do, if Lindelof plays, to do one. I'm expecting maybe Rashford to make a mistake, give the ball away. And listen, they take in turns. It's like the pasta parcel. You be Santa this week. I'll be Santa next week.
Whose week is it?
Well, I think it's Onana every week. Onana is the gift that keeps giving. But I think it could be Varane. Welcome back, Varane. There you go. Give it. Sheffield need it as well, that bit of charity. They need it. Well, go ahead. What does your heart say? What does your head say?
My head's saying 3-2. My head's saying it's going to be like another Brentford. I think Mick or Jarvis said I think it's going to be like one of them again. But my head's saying it's going to be bad. I keep thinking if we don't score in the first half or get 2 goals in the first half, we're in for a long night. Every single game, it's been like that this season, the whole season. If we don't score in the first half and start playing well and don't end it poorly, We struggle every game, so I don't expect tomorrow to be any different. I can't just be like, no, we're going to go there to change of whatever. You got to show me something. I've got no evidence to support this theory. It'll just be blind belief, and I'm not. I can't do that anymore. No, honestly. So I think 2-1's a reasonable one.
Big up ITN. He says cheeky 40 pants on Sheffield.
Do it, man.
Something came up before and said he's got a double on Manchester United. So he's got United to lose 2-0 tomorrow to Sheffield United and then to lose 3-2 to Copenhagen. He's put a double on. He's got a double.
I don't know anything about betting, but what does that mean? What do you win?
Well, you win a lot of money, mate. If you put United getting beat 2-0 Sheffield United and then you put them losing at Old Trafford 3-2, you're getting. If you put in
87%.
So what does that mean in money?
Jesus Christ.
It depends. We'll put it this way, Bumbaye. Leicester to win the Premier League was 5,000 to 1. Do you know what I mean?
So people retired.
Basically.
Exactly. Listen, it is what it is. So let me give you my predictions. Like I said, I'll go around it and say they've not won their game. They've got a mini preseason. Unfortunately, to say that Erik ten Hag is already top stuck, but he's not at the internationals. And actually, the players who have been letting us down, they performed well in internationals. So Bruno, when he plays for Portugal, and Rashford when he plays for England, they look actually quite good. When they put on a Man United shirt, they look like they play for the Donald Duck, pub.
Give them bibs, man. Let them wear their international shirts and give them bibs.
Is that not an issue, though? No, quickly, is that not a big issue? Because we had that with Pogba. Kept saying he loves it for France. He loves it for France. Is that something we're doing wrong as a club? That these players just seem to thrive outside elsewhere? Is that a bigger issue?
Facts. Listen, at the moment, everybody's thriving outside of Manchester United. Everybody couldn't get away on that international break. Everybody's like, get me the hell out of here. The worst one for me is what the club's repeating, some stupid patterns. Casemiro having a knock, Brazil play him, he gets a knock and he stays behind to get treatment in Brazil. That's a bit fishy for me. I don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't like it. May not like it. But anyway. So
I gotta answer ITN's question. Predictions 3-0. What you smoking? I'm smoking vape, mate.
And he's got that. Listen, forget that. He's gonna climb into that time machine and put the clock in. Get in that car.
Okay.
And then go down
Clip this if I get it right. Okay.
Yeah. Clip it. There you go. So I think it's gonna be a really tough game under the lights. Bramall Lane. It used to be like Sheffield, Manchester used to be big games, used to carry on. Used to have Sheffield United, Sheffield Wednesday, Manchester United, Man City used to be big games. We're only an hour away. It's Yorkshire versus Lancashire. If you know the War of the Roses, it's a lot riding on this. So, yeah, I would say my heart says 1-0, and I don't know how, but somehow Man United they miss loads of chances. We nick it 1-0, or it's going to be a draw. My heart says 1-0. My head says it's going to be a draw, or a loss, or it could be easy to lose. Because we know that as soon as we concede, the heads drop. Yeah. The heads drop. So it could be 2-0. Actually, instead of saying draw, I think it could be 2-0 to them. Honestly.
Yo, quick question. Let's say Erik ten Hag picks it up, right, and he starts doing really well, and we're liking the football, and we feel that we're going places, but he comes sixth, let's say. And the fans are on board now, and everybody's saying, no, we're going places again. We're back on board. Do you think the board would still have the balls to sack him?
Yeah.
No, if he finishes champion, I think they will jump because now we don't know about this 25% who we need to come on to quickly. But we don't know that what their thing is and how if Ratcliffe comes in earlier, then maybe they need the Champions League money. They need to be in Europe. They need to be in Champions League next season. And I think they might just jump. They might change. And especially if the cyclist guy and Joe Glazer are going to be in charge of the football operations, because that's the press, by the way. Going on to the next thing, bike, honestly. I can't
Cycling
laugh.
Coach. Hello.
I can't laugh. Please, guys, don't make me laugh because I can't laugh. Every time.
So that mean that
every laugh? Listen, every laugh is a week added on to the healing process. So the more I laugh, the more then the ribs are not mending. But so that brings me on actually. So I'll start reverse. I'll go to Eski and then we'll go down the other way. Manchester United have said that basically I've been shocked at the level especially the Twitter, the fans on Twitter, which means a lot of fans in the stadium are on Twitter, by the way. The level of acceptance, I can see there are staunch. So Manchester United fans have split into devastation, frustration, no, and then that frustration, the devastation takes you to, okay, full sail only, fuck the Ratcliffe, we're gonna just, he's another rat, just like the Glazers. And then you've got frustration, little bit of anger, and now, you know what, we accept it. Jim will fix it. Jim's the lad. You know what I mean? We just got to go with it. I mean, we can't be negative. You know, Toxic Positivity FC. And now I'll give them a new name. They're called 25% Crew. 25% Crew. So 25% Crew have been abusing the rest of the fans. Hold tight on that one. Yeah, 25% Crew needs to chill out. And basically, what we had some breaking news. I think it was on the Times, and it basically said that Sir David. I don't call these people sir. You're no sir to me, man. I don't believe in monarchy, so don't miss me out with all that BS, right? That's basically a cycling bloke that's got a bit of dodgy history with a cycling, bit of dodginess around him in terms of Team Sky and the Olympics, Great Britain Olympics team. Some funny business. Go and research it yourself. Him and Joe Glazer are going to be in charge of the footballing operations. So, Eski, with that, they're going to sack, by that chance, they're definitely sacking Eric Ten Hag. So that's my point of view. So Eric's Tata Eric. So how do you see that? And were you shocked in terms of, have you met fans that are really like, really genuinely, have you met fans that are really genuinely kind of that are not, because I know you're not on social media, on the road and everything, that are quite accepting of the Ratcliffe?
No, personally, no. I was going to say, I did meet, there's this woman that comes in, this lady that comes in sometimes, and she told me that she works for Luke Shaw. I don't know if it's PR or whatever instance, right? But she works for him, and I just asked her, was there like, is he okay? Because obviously he's got this injury that no one knows about, and Ten Hag's not talking about it. So I said, you know, is he all right? Is he recovering? She goes, yeah, he's all right. And I just asked, I said, what is the injury? And she said, I'm not allowed to say. I started smiling. I said, no, it's fine. But I told her, I said, just tell Joe Glazer I'm looking for him. And she started laughing and said, so's everyone else. So as long as the message is out there, because like, honestly, Nuruddin, I'm going to respectfully decline to answer your question, only because I don't want to speak about the whole takeover thing anymore. I'm done with the whole thing. It's took a lot out of me. Nonsense. You were right all along. I just think every fan that got involved with that whole thing is just drained. We've had enough. Obviously, we don't want them. It's not to say I'm going to stop protesting, blah, blah, blah. But to speak on the 25%, you know, Sir Jim, Sheikh Jassim, sorry, everything that's going to happen now, I think it's just not good for me, personally. I don't want to speak about it. And I just think that everyone else should just, you know, if you want to, that's fine. But me personally, I'm going to speak about the football, about the players, because what can we change, Nuruddin? It's inevitable. We've got leeches in charge. They're going to get another one in. And we're just back to square one, and it just cycles around. So to avoid unnecessary stress, I'm just going to let it all play out. Whatever happens, we will deal with it collectively as a fan base. That's what we are together. We're united, and that's it. So respectfully, I'm going to decline to answer your question.
He said big up Eski.
I think you're on mute. I think you're on mute, Northern.
Yeah, I said big up Eski. Listen, you keep it straight, 100%. Lilas, I think, feels the same way, and I genuinely, I want people to get in the chat and let us know. And when those of you watching this video later, do you agree with Lilas? Because I think this has been one of the most poignant like chats that we've had. Lilas says, Nura, to be honest, for the first time in my life, I don't care if we lose or we win, because some part of my soul inside died. And I think what's killed, knocked people out, and where Eski's telling me for the first time ever coming on, telling me, you know what, I can't answer any questions, you know, about the work, because I'm done. Because the idea of getting somebody to getting rid of the Glazers was such a big opportunity, and now we're back to square one. So I want people to know, like, are you feeling the same as this? Because this to me hit me differently, like, and I know that he means everything he says. When you feel so disconnected from your football club, and like it's like the biggest defeat. It's like we've lost like 4 finals or something. Like we've lost the league 3 times on the last day or something like that. That's what it feels like. So Mickey,
Yes, sir.
in terms of the 25% crew, have you been surprised what you see on social media? People
Yeah.
literally, like content creators, literally saying, oh yeah, there are people making videos going, oh, you know what? I'm glad we don't get to him anyway. He was going to get Mbappe. We don't need Mbappe. Like, that's just false stories that are out there.
You
So
can
it's
just watch. You can just watch me and Jarvis ever since the news broke. We haven't flip-flopped at all. Like, you know, we've been doing quite the opposite, to say not so fast, Jim Ratcliffe. You know, people are never sort of let your fear and emotion cloud your judgment. In the end of the day, what we've seen here is the ones that benefit most out of it is actually the club, because they thrive on social media clicks, and you know, you have Neil Ashton spinning the plates, and you know, at the end of the day, there's something called secrecy NDA, right? And what we learned over this takeover process is most of the expectations, deadlines, bid prices comes from where? It comes from the stenographers, what you call them, right? And who is actually benefiting the money? Most out of it. You know, you always have to ask who, why, when, what things are happening. The proposal, what you saw in the Financial Times, was just a proposal to say, if they get the club, they will put this guy into charge. There's nothing written in stone, so nothing has really decided. On the other hand, Sheikh Yassim feels that, you know, I'm the only serious bidder that's, you know, kind of bidding against myself. Like, I'm the only one going for 100%. Why the fuck would I increase? The other guy is not, he's a clown. He's gone from 51, 69 to 25. So they're going like, fuck it, I'm not going to increase. So if you're actually looking at what Reuters is saying, they're saying we will not increase anymore. The bid is there on the table. They will not increase anymore. Glazers went around the corner, begged Nasser Al Khalifi for them to come to the table to put more money in. They said, no. Why would we? Why would we outbid ourselves? So I don't think this race is over. I think it's the media apparatus are, you know, clickbaiting the shit out of this. They don't know jack shit. They don't really care about you as fans. They care about themselves, self-entitlements. They have editorials. They have to put food on the table. And that's what I think at the end of the day. Okay. But I'm fucking tired. I'm not going to believe anything that comes out from any of those. We know who we're talking about. They're the usual suspects. You can only see today in the press conference, 2 of them was asking irrelevant questions. They were asking about Ratcliffe. They were asking about who else? Jadon Sancho, right? They're not there to ask the questions about the football. They're just there to ask about the...
You're talking about Simon Stone, innit?
Yes, Simon Stone and fucking all of them.
We've got a bit of breaking news, people, because obviously the embargo section of Erik ten Hag's interview has come out. So I'll just give you this. Erik ten Hag, Luke Shaw, I don't expect him back in this block of games. Aaron Bissaka, yeah, I don't think he's too far away for returning to team training and so back in the team. And then he said something about Manu. I know that a lot of people are literally thinking it's so crazy, the whole fan base. Because listen, nobody in Manchester United fan base, no other fan base in the last 10 or so years loves a savior or scapegoats of one player. We're all guilty of it, all of us. So Erik ten Hag or Manu, he's already training with us. No, not today, but I think next week he will have some minutes in the team, so then he can catch up with his game minutes. So yeah. He's really improving, ready to get back into squad games.
Wicked.
So that is that's it. Mercedes AGM Petrona F1 CEO Toto Wolff on Sir Jim taking over Manchester United. With Jim, all that shit, cut it out. He has the resources that are needed. With Jim, all these something else, he swore all this effing, cut it out. He has the resources needed. So somebody's bigging up Jim Ratcliffe. Jim Ratcliffe and Ineos basically own 1/3 of Mercedes. They're in a 3-way partnership, if I'm not mistaken. So that's the breaking news. So the breaking news is Juan Bissaka. Juan Bissaka is going to be back. So he's not that far away, so he might be training with the team. So Juan Bissaka might be, the Copenhagen game might be a bit too soon for him, but maybe the game against City game or maybe the game after that, he might. But Luke Shaw is way behind yet. He's not ready and available yet. So that is
Look,
That is what's going on.
Nuruddin, just to clarify things, right? We've been keeping glazers out, bankers out, 100% full sale only, right? That's all we care about. If it was Sir Jim Ratcliffe offering full sale only, right, or even 69%, 51%, I would take that. To be honest,
Yeah, 100%. Me too.
Not 25%, because where are we then? Then we pretty much added another layer to the cake. He just basically becomes the seventh glazer, right? So
yeah, 100%.
Basically replacing Matt Judge and basically looking for a new CEO. Matt Judge replacing
Richard Arnold.
Ed Woodward.
Richard Arnold.
Same.
Yeah.
So if the
Murtaugh.
decision process was like a silo, like bottleneck, like Joel, everything went to Joel to decide on the transfers, and now you're adding on more.
Yeah.
Really? No.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Big up. I'll go to you, Bumbaye, and then I'll go to Jarvis, where he's standing on the 25% club.
Yeah. I just wanted, before, when you mentioned, man, because we said in it, to shout out to, rest in peace, condolences to those Swedish fans. I think 3 were killed, right?
Yeah, we said that,
I mean, I'm the least qualified person, not on this podcast, on this earth, to ask anything to do with selling of Man United. I don't even know what they look like. I don't know anything about them. All I can say is I would love for Qatar to come in and take Manchester United, because I know, this this level of Arabic people, they really take pride in outdoing each other. They'll want to compete with City. They'll want to develop it. It's like you look at Burj Khalifa, and it's just in the nature of the very richest people in that peninsula. And they genuinely love on our football mental out there. If you're successful on the pitch, it will translate into money. I'm not, I played football for a while, man, and I've never seen, and I go and there's coaching going on. Before, nobody saw City shirts. Nobody saw City shirts. Now you see a lot of kids, it's all Man City. Even teenagers, it's all Man City. And it's because for the last 10 years, they're dominating everything.
Yeah, because they've all become, and also the thing that what you forgot, the phenomenon that's took over, they've all become a believers, like the Christians, you know what I mean? They've all become born again Christians and born again City fans. So that's the reason why.
I mean, okay, kids want to be like Haaland. Kids look at who's winning the league. Kids want to be like, Grealish. We don't really have that at Man U. We're a little bit obscure from where we should be. So all I can say, I don't know what the hell is Jim Ratcliffe and what's happening, but I just wish we would get rid of, these Zionist bastards. Let me just tell you exactly how it is.
Congratulations.
End of.
Right, there we go. Right, stop right there.
Big
up
get
to you.
Channel blocked for saying so.
It's all good. Listen, they're already shadow banning me anyway, all across on Twitter and everything, on the Insta, so it's all good. You might as well do it with YouTube as well. It's all good, man. We're here for the fight, man. We're here, no problem. We've got the shoulders to take that, to make that brunt, no problem. Big up to you, and to big up to everyone who's watching. For me, Jarvis, you're the last person. Go ahead.
Yep.
Give me that. You surprised at how many people have folded? How many content creators are now just like, well, you know what? I don't want to be stay-at-home. You know what I mean?
Well, they're fucking flip-floppers, right?
And you know what? 25%. It's the only way that he can get into the club. You know what I mean? If that's so, 3 years time, it's like, what have you been watching? BBC Jackanory stories? Like, who told you 3 years? What details have you seen? 3 years. If the club's worth more, they can change your mind and go, see you later. Thank you so much. Ta-ra. We'll buy you out. You, just to remind people, do you know how long it took Kroenke to buy out Usmanov? It took him 11 years. 11 years to buy him out.
I don't get this flip-flop mentality. I don't understand it, but I just personally
because
don't.
listen, it's called coping, isn't it? It's coping. Some of the fans are coping like that. I understand aspects of it because they have to cope, because some of them are content creators and they have to be on the positive, Nick. have to be on the positive train. You can't be negative, Mr. Negative here. You got to be on the positive train.
Do you know what? Do you know this thing, bro? Is there anything that we can actually do about this?
Do you know what I
mean?
We'll know. Listen, for me, we will know on Tuesday, innit? Tuesday, to me, it'll be interesting to see the fans in the stadium, innit? That's what I'm waiting. Not tomorrow away, because it's a away game, but because the Greater Manchester Police, the club have asked Greater Manchester Police to put on extra police, basically, in that game. Yeah. So extra police, extra heightened security. So Jarvis,
because they sold tickets in the homestand to the away fans again. Oh, well.
Listen, they banned 2 kids that I know. One of my like good friends. He comes on here. Hold tight, Sol and his friend, like they're under 16s. They basically said they sold their tickets. No, they didn't. They're both like under 16s. They said you sold your tickets. Like how? They were both in the stadium. So they're taking out on the kids. Literally, Manchester United
won't blame anybody for selling their tickets, mate.
No, I'm telling you. But they didn't. They literally. So the club. Listen, the club sold the tickets. Yeah. Right. That's why there was a protest against Brentford. There was a protest outside the stadium, outside the ticket office, and the banner said the biggest ticket out is Man United. Right. So because they were selling those tickets for 400 quid, 500 quid. So at the end of the day, listen, Galatasaray fans were turning out in their triple like Galatasaray kits. They had the tracksuit. They had the gloves, the scarves, the top, the tracksuit. Some of them just forgot their boots. That's it. Some of them were like, "Where's the boots?" They wanted to get on. So,
okay, might as well make it a mixed stadium. Fuck away fans and home fans. Just make it a mixed stadium. Jokers.
That's what we're. But what's even worse now? They literally blaming the children. And I know those children were in the stadium with me. They were there. They went in, and they're like, "No, you sold your tickets." They have to find somebody to blame to face. It's absolutely despicable. But go ahead, Jarvis. Give us your 2 points on the.
I will go back to your original question about other content creators and how they have reacted to the latest news. Basically, when I think of it, some of them are extremely, I don't want to bash other content creators because they are hardworking people. They run channels. Most of them have work. They're not professionals, same as I, and we have a tight schedule. But what baffles me is they take all this news that comes in and present them in a naive way. They don't think of it. They don't try to break it down, try to go after the facts and try to understand what's going on. They are just like parrots. They're just parroting what's going on. Oh, Glazers Ratcliffe wants 25%, blah 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 blah. So it's always like a naivety, or I don't know if they don't care. I don't know, or they don't have the time to go through it in a deep, real way. But so I would like people to think for themselves and try to dig deep and go for the facts, like you do, Neridan, like you do, Mick. And I like you have a deep understanding of things, what's going on, and you look beyond the news that comes out. So for me, I think even people in the chat, we have a lot to learn and try to look for the answers, not just get them served and repeat what they are saying to us, because we know they will try to spin us and they will try to manipulate our fans, and they have a agenda, and the agenda is always divide and conquer. They don't want us united. They want us divided, and that's the narrative.
Yeah, what happens if every single person, I don't know how this all works, you guys are obviously on it. I take it that subscribers is the most important thing, right?
Not really. Community.
Say that again?
No, like for a successful channel, usually people are looking for subscribers, right? And I can subscribe to a channel just by clicking a button, right?
It's free.
Mm-hmm.
No, you can subscribe, but also become a member in it. So listen, I understand some of the content. Listen, I understand some of the content creators, because they can't be like negative. They have to try to like uplift people, and I understand that the fans are. But for me, Full Sail only. We said
Yeah,
Full Sail
Full Sail.
only. And that's why I give it a big up for 1958. They stayed principled. They also exposed all the other Manchester United fan groups. We did that on the last video, just to give you a quick recap. 1958 asked all of the different fan groups to disengage from Manchester United and the Glazers. Disengage from it.
What
all,
happens if
and they
everybody
refused.
unsubscribes? What happens if everybody unsubscribes? Does that not affect the club?
What do you mean? Not unsubscribe? You mean
from
disengage?
Manchester? Yeah, from Man United YouTube channel.
No, we're talking about the fans group. We're talking about, so there are fans groups, yeah. But there are fans, because we've got so many fans. There'll be just a maybe a lot of the fans, there'll be some fans who worship this football club, who like the fact that they subscribe to, who live in different parts of the world, and they're never going to unsubscribe. And also, one thing what you have to understand, the Glazers are very clever. They call us legacy fans. Us, yeah, the ones who live in the city and stuff like that, who go to the stadium, and they call the other fans, they're more important because they're the ones who are getting advertised in these different countries in Asia, Middle East, Africa, Latin America. You know what I mean? These are the ones that are being gripped. And actually what they've done, all of the supporters clubs, the Glazers have got them in their pockets. They get them over here. They get them VIP with the players and Ten Hag. They get them to ask questions. So majority, like the Norwegian supporters club, the Swedish supporters club, the Indian, the Ghanaian, like all of them, they've got them on lock. They've got them on lock. So that's what you don't understand. Because it's about, when you live abroad, it's all about access to the club that you love. And you're going to go along with anything because you're getting access.
But wait, you're telling me that a guy that wanted to purchase Chelsea for almost 4 billion is broke, that he can't even buy 69%, 51%, so he's offering 1.4 billion all of a sudden? Claims to be a Manchester United boyhood fan. He tried to purchase Barcelona, and the British media is trying to portray him out like he's the savior right now. And most of the I've been watching them, and most of them have been flip-flopping. Now they're selling the dream of Ratcliffe, get that out of here, we've been holding this protest for 18 years, and at least since we started doing this channel, Nerd, and including the last protest, me and Jarvis was sitting holding the watch-along protest. There's no way we want to keep the Glazers in 100%. I mean, why would you just go to the battle and just lay down, lay down your weapons and die? Might as well burn the house down. If we get another 25%, you might as well burn the house down. That's it, right?
Can't even assess this club, man. For the last 10 years, you know what? I'm on it. I can't even assess a manager. Can't even assess anything. Do you know why? It's just fucked.
Yeah.
100%. Listen, big up whoever said Craig, whatever his name is, David Bradford is coming in to get somebody said a comment. I forgot. I've lost a comment. It really tickled me. Somebody said, "There you go."
It's gonna pass Bricken Hills,
we will see
Aspen
Rashford
Hills.
in the Olympics as a cyclist.
Get on your bike, Rashford.
Like the velodrome.
I can't laugh. Well, he plays like that at the moment. That's why I'm laughing, because he don't pass, does he? Head down. So he can just keep their head down on the velodrome.
Listen, another thing, I see urgent one for life here says Ineos got a share in Spurs. Another thing, they have not come so deep in the they haven't even gone through the directors of fitness test. What are going to do with the if Nice finish second and we finish fourth, that means that we cannot play in Champions League, right? Yeah. They haven't even gone through that.
No. Actually, no, Mick. The other thing, I've looked into that. That's one of the things that I actually looked into, because when everybody was confused, when everybody was confused, and they thought that we were going to be bought by the same, QIR, whatever, Paris Saint-Germain, Manchester United, Champions League. I looked into that. Actually, when you look at the rules are really flimsy. That's one rule in the UEFA code of rules that is very slippy. As long as you can prove that the people have got nothing to do with each other, you can basically, they're not getting the money from the same, from the same pot of money. You can. It's one of the flimsy ones. And actually, Gary Neville interviewed the head of UEFA, and he asked them about multiple club ownership. He said, UEFA want people to come and bring money. That's the biggest thing. So they're not asked if you own a couple of clubs.
I'm going to ask the panel a question. I'm going to ask you, Nuruddin, as well, because you understand Middle Eastern culture, right? You do, right?
Yeah.
So majority of
From the distance.
yeah, from a distance. Yeah, alhamdulillah. From majority of the noise is coming out from the so-called stenographers, sports journalists. Honest to God. But if this was true, that a respectable Sheikh Yassim 92 Holding Foundation, Qatar itself, would have withdrawn themselves, they would have announced them themselves, right? Why would they then inform Fabrizio Romano to call them up to say, hey, no comment? They said tonight, 92 Holding said to Fabrizio, no comment, right? We have a confidentiality. Oh, and while you're calling us, we're going to let you know that we are out.
Yeah.
So majority of this is clear and obvious that there are some gravy train journalists and publications that don't want Qatar to win because they've been profiting out of these leaks that are coming out from certain officials within the club. Now, if it's 100%, that means the total restructure. So that means they're going to lose out a lot of business as well, right? No more leaks train, no more clicks, no more that. It's going to be a clean house, right? So therefore, they're pushing this 25% notion because, hey, the gravy train keeps rolling.
Well, right. Listen. To me, we will find out soon. We will find out soon, and only time will tell. Yeah, but to be fair, Jarvis also thinks, but this could run. But for me, all I know is that I don't give a damn who's buying Manchester United in terms of because we'll judge you. We will judge you, but you need to buy the 59% or buy the whole effing club. And if you can't afford the whole club, get the F out of our faces.
So
the message is clear.
Would you take it? Would you Would you take it if Joel and Aaron said, we sell it to you, Sheikh Yassim, but if you keep 80%, we take 20, we still have a little bit cut. Would you take that?
Well, for me, if they get if Yassim was to get 59%, yeah, because that means the Glazers are just
zero
like
power.
They're just zero power. They're not going to be here. They're not going to be making any decisions. The decision is always going to be, and if Yassim folds it up, even if Jim bought the 59, 69. I'll take it. So you're 69, the 69. I'll take it. I'll take the 69. Anybody offers me 69 because then I know that boardroom. Listen to me. Listen, that boardroom is filled full of people from them, and they'll be against the Glazers anyway by default. So
the reason why I'm asking, the
Glazers could go and buy the A shares that are in a stock exchange with the rest of the vultures, because those who own them are like vultures, like the Glazers anyway. You know, that 31%. So they can go and get by themselves 31%, and they can be there forever, but they will have zero control and zero power on Manchester United.
Yeah. I mean, that was the reason why I'm asking, because, you know, as long as we have full control, could you stomach the two brothers to sit there and just in the background, getting a little bit of investment?
Honestly, because I wouldn't even care. Because I know that in terms of football decisions, whoever's got the 59 or 69, whoever's got the 69%, you are in control, and it all rests on you. Yeah. Big up Sophia. Make sure you go and check her channel out, people. Sophia Fox Football. Go and check out. Big up, sis. I hope you're well.
No, for me, it doesn't make sense, Nuruddin. Why would you invest 1.4, 1.5 billion and have zero control, right?
Well, that's what I'm saying to you.
It doesn't make sense.
Listen, all I know that people have done that before. I remember Usmanov buying enough shares to get to 27%, and then Kroenke having 50-something%. It took him 11 years. Let me repeat, people: 11 years for him to buy him out. 11 years.
Think buy now, pay later, man. I don't have the money to buy it all now. Here's some.
I'll pay it out
slowly.
Listen,
I tried to buy Jarvis's house. I said, Jarvis, I give you 4 Snickers now. In 6 years' time, you get a bucket load of Snickers. You get to keep the keys, come and have a coffee whenever you want. But,
Listen,
he said no.
Nick, obviously, you are our representative from Sweden. Obviously, we're sorry for the loss of the fans.
Yes. You know the reason why?
No football fans would ever go to a football game. And the idea that we've all been to football games, and the idea that we can go to a football game and then not come home, is one of the most tragic things.
Yeah, it's very tragic. But you know what the whole root cause was before, why they did it? Do you know why?
Is it the Quran burning stuff?
Yes, it's Quran burning. I mean, I feel so I mean, burning Quran, any Holy Bible, Quran, Torah, it's a terrorist attack itself, right?
Yeah.
Sweden's been allowing
What
this,
I loved, can I just say that? Just jump in there. I love that guy. Was it in Denmark? Muslim guy said he's gonna burn
Yeah,
the
and he
Torah
dropped.
and the Quran. Sorry, and this is what he did. He said, "I'm gonna go and burn in," and I think it was Denmark, in a central square in might have been Copenhagen. He said, "I'm gonna burn the Bible and the Torah," and then he came there, and they all turned up. Hundreds of people turned up. He put it down. He said, "Why would I burn this?" This is a Muslim guy, by the way. He said, "Why would I burn these holy books? What is it that I'm gonna get from this?"
Yeah, no. So you know, I'm shocked myself. The country's in shock. The prime minister had a really good rant about it as well, and but then I go turn around and say, like, you know, well, we've been too liberal, too slack. Like, you know, why do we allow this to happen? Like, you know, this is, you know, it really sent shockwave and disrespect across the whole Islamic world when they were burning the Swedish flag and stuff like that. It's just a spin in the face, you know. I respect Muslims, I respect Jews, I respect everyone, right? We are the same people on the same God at the end of the day, you know.
Well, some people, that's what I'm saying to you. That too many of these internet guys become a sensationalist. Look, I'm hard. I can burn a secret text, you know, a religious text, and then upset so many people to show that, look, freedom and all of this business. But for me, it's still, that gives nobody no right to murder somebody. And my heart goes out to especially innocent people who are just went to watch a football, went to travel with friends, went to travel with family maybe, and then they went to a football game and they just get absolutely murdered. So my heart breaks for them, and Vic, my heart breaks for you and all the community, football loving people in Sweden.
Those guys are the victims, as Mick said, though. Very good. He said it beautifully. And why would you do something just because you can when you know there's no benefit in it? There's only bad in it.
No, but listen. People.
Then you have a guy. Yeah, I know. Then you have a guy who's got a completely warped idea of what he's supposed to be following, and the only people that paid are 3 football fans.
And that's heartbreaking.
And that's
honestly,
that's the end result.
I'm not gonna lie to you guys. When I go to football games, when we go to football games, the idea that that could happen to anybody is still like, that's why Hillsborough still, even though when it comes to Liverpool and Manchester United, I put that aside. Like Hillsborough, when I went to study in Liverpool, honestly, I could not believe it. Every third or fourth person in Liverpool that you meet knew somebody who went to that game. And the whole country lied about them. The police lied about them. Margaret Thatcher and her cronies lied about them and said it was the fans' fault when it was the police. So the idea, like, football fans leave, you're all excited. You know what it's like before you approach the stadium? It's that excitement. We're going to win today. We're going to lose that tension. You know, that togetherness, seeing friends, going, taking a stand. It's a jovial atmosphere, isn't it? The idea, you're preparing for that, thinking about that, and then you get to lose your life. It's incredible.
Listen, man, our government here in England does not represent the people en masse. Most governments don't represent the people. People, humanity now, I'm getting to the point watching what's happening on the news in Gaza where I'm becoming a little bit ashamed of being a human being.
Yes.
That's like, you know, I can't laugh without feeling guilty or enjoy food. I can't do anything at the minute. I'm stuck because the depths, that's the depths of the depravity of what's supposed to be the creature on this earth with rational reason is just gone.
Man's inhumanity, innit?
They are like, these collective West leaders are against humanity whatsoever. They're just servicing an agenda and a cause.
And it is important, Mick, when you say that, to understand Israel does not equal Jewish people. This Belen that did that thing in Sweden does not equal Muslims.
No.
When
if you know
go
Quran,
to,
you know Quran. You're not.
This is it. And you know what? The world, listen, the world without chess, we need justice before we need peace. That's one thing I do know. We need justice before we need peace.
We need common humanity, bro. That's what that's what we're fighting for here.
Listen, people, it's been a top night. We've actually enjoyed. It's been a lovely panel. We've put the world to right as much as putting Manchester United, right? Yeah,
We should start a geopolitical channel live stream straight away.
Exactly. But big up to you guys. Big up to everybody in the chat. We will find out. We'll be back here tomorrow. I'm gonna go to in the afternoon. We're having a big protest tomorrow outside the BBC. Outside the BBC, peaceful protest outside the BBC, letting them know that we're not accepting our BBC so-called balance, fair and balanced BS becoming a
bullshit
mouthpiece.
corporation.
Listen, becoming the biggest mouthpiece of the IDF, the Israeli army. So we're not having it. That's what we're going to do peacefully tomorrow. We're going to do that. So pick up to every one of you. We'll be back here. Obviously, the game's at night, luckily. So we'll be watching that game. And then maybe around 10:30, we'll be live for the match reaction. But big up to every one of you. Love and light. Let's get into this, people. We go from the top. Bumbaye and Eski, they never see them on it and never going to see them on social media. If somebody pretending to be them, tell them good luck. You're never going to see them. You're never going to see those two. Never going to see them. The only place you see them is in this here. Make sure you check out Mick Ruby TV. Make sure you check that out.
MUFT Realist TV.
That's it. MUF TV. Yeah, MUF TV. So go and check out Mick Ruby on Twitter. And then Jarvis Bowley 77. Rock on. They'll be doing a bit of the build-up match tomorrow. They'll be doing they'll be doing a match build-up and everything else that comes with it. So go and check them out. And then they'll be there. I don't know. You do watch-alongs, or do you just do the build-up?
Not tomorrow. I don't think so.
Yeah. So they're doing a build-up. So go and check it out, people. It is like the brother says here. BBC stand for the big bullshit corporation.
Yeah, 100%.
There we go. Listen, and we leave you with this in it. While the world's leaders watch, we say free Palestine. Peace, love, light, win, lose, draw, Glazers out, bankers out, Jim the Rat out. Peace. Take care, people. We'll see you soon. Free Palestine. That's how it is. Take care, people.
Everyone up, man.
Good night.
Big up to you guys.
One love.
One love, people.
One love.
Humanity.